Mm.
Welcome to our weekly talk show, New Gambia platform. Today is May 1st, 2022. Our topic of discussion today would be accountability and how our institution we could be accountable for our institutions and making sure that, things that need to be done are done with our institutions and bring transparency and then accountability. So I have my co-host here, Njaga Juve from Finland. Njaga, can you wait?
From Denmark.
Oh, are you shy? And I have
no, Denmark, point of correction, not Finland.
Oh, Denmark. Okay.
Yeah,
Denmark.
yeah.
Okay. Kind of close, right? And I have my other co-host here, Sam Sisi from US, Indiana. And I am your host here, Muhammad Sawane in New York. So Sam, you got the floor. What do you think about when it comes to our institutions? How can we make them better?
Well, thank you, Mr. Swanee, and thank you, Njaga, for being here today as well. So this is an important topic, and I think if you look at the topic, it says itself, it is talking about credibility, accountability, and independence of our institutions in Gambia. We know that all of these three words, three big words that are very important, they are all problematic. They are all a problem currently. When you talk about credibility, I mean, you don't know who to trust right now in our government. Things happen and, in different institutions, and you will see officials from that institution come out to defend instead of being the first to come out to say, tell the people what happened and what are they going to do about it. Instead, they will wait until it gets into social media, and then and then they come and try to defend it. And even some of what they say may not necessarily be accurate. So credibility is an issue there. Definitely is an issue, and trust and trustworthiness, very important. And all of these come from leadership. If you think about leadership, who is a good leader? Who is a leader? Any leader, anywhere, you have to have that integrity. You have to have that integrity. You have to be honest to your people, and you have to have trustworthiness. These are, excuse me, these are very important. And many more. I don't want to get into all of it because I know I've released some audios about leadership as well in the past, but there's a lot into leadership, but these are very important. We need people that are honest. We need people that are that have integrity, and we need people that are trustworthy. These are very important, and people that are going to tell people, that Gambian people, the truth when something happened. So, and when you talk about accountability, I mean, you look at it, there's really no accountability. From what I know about accountability, there's no accountability in Gambia. I'll put it that way. There may be some accountability in some places. I will give them credit. There is accountability in some places. The accountability may not be up to our standard or up to what I know as accountability, and accountability cannot happen without reconciliation. And, in anywhere, you cannot say you're going to be holding people accountable and account for money and funds of the government or their state and not reconciling them. So that is another thing. The other part is I'm just talking about the broad part of the topic, an overview of the topic. In other words, just summarize, and then we can all get into the details here. The other part is independence. There are institutions in the country that really need to be independent. And we, for example, IEC, Independent Electoral Commission, they are called independent, but they're really not independent from what I'm seeing. From my point of view, it may be different from somebody else's point of view, but from my point of view, they are not independent. And the only way to be independent, that one I'm going to talk about solution for that, because I've always talked about solutions. The best solution for IEC to be independent is to really vote for IEC chairman, to have them go into elections, just like the mayors, just like the councilors, just like the MPs go into election. We need to have elections for that position, IEC chairman, whoever is going to be the chairman. If they are elected by the people, knowing that no president can do anything to them, that's when they will start to become independent. They will do the right thing for the country, knowing that the people elected them. And if they don't, the next election, that's when people are going to take them out. So that's independence there. If you look at other institutions, our police department, you know, and you look at institutions that really need to be independent. Police departments should not be getting phone calls or anybody from whatever office they are, saying that they receive calls from the top. That is nonsense. That should not be happening in any country, and is happening in the Gambia. You know, when something happened, police get involved in something, in investigations, or arrest somebody, or people go out and then they get arrested because there was a call from the top. All of this should not happen in a democratic state. So they don't have the independence because somebody is dictating them to do their job, and they should already know their job. They are there to do their job and enforce the laws, regardless of who the people are or who the person they are arresting. They just need to do their job and be consistent in what they do. So just a broad overview. These are just some of the things that I just wanted to summarize. In other words, a broad overview of what we're going to talk about today, and then we can get into details. And I will stop here and allow Jagger to come in and get into an area. But before I do, the one thing that's very important that I think needs to happen in Gambia is all Gambians need to get into politics. Politics should be the day of our lives. We should all, politics doesn't necessarily have to be partisan politics. It could be non-partisan politics, but politics is very important for everyone to get involved from grassroots, meaning in villages and towns. The VDCs in the villages and towns should be people that really should hold meetings and let their communities know, kind of bring awareness of how the country is going, bring awareness of what politics is about, bring awareness of what they need to know, and bring awareness of when it's time for elections, so that they don't allow anyone to come and fool them. The people should be awakening. They
but
should
some question there. Do you think that, like, as the world says, man tay suma la sacha nga yakar ne dina la jangal minoti sacha?
No, that is true. That doesn't happen. They won't do that. But that's a very good point. So what we need to really do is, in every village, there are people that are there that are for the state, that are looking for the future of the country, not necessarily their political parties. So these are the people, just like how we are here talking about this, looking at the country first. We need to have people that are looking for the country first in every village, that will come out and teach people, not political party people, because when you put partisan politics in there, you will see people supporting their party. No matter what their party does, they take that as that's the right thing to do. Even if it's wrong, they want to support that. They don't want to talk against their own party. So we need to have independent people in every village that is going to be doing coaching and preaching and talking about politics in general, how and what we need to expect from our leaders, what we need to expect from our government. So that people need to know that, so that the people know all of that. So when it is time for campaigns and they come into campaigns, well, the people are already ahead of them. They already know what is right and what is wrong. They already should know what are their expectations. So nobody should come and fool them. They should already also know what were the promises that they gave in the past that they have not fulfilled. So you can't fool me twice. You fool me once, Well, shame on you. If you form it twice, that'll be shame on me, you know, especially a 3-time. That should never happen. And that's what people need to be aware of. So, but yeah, like I said, I'll stop here and then we can get into details.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. You're right. Yeah, so I don't know, like okay, good afternoon and good evening from where I am. I'm grateful to be back again to the show. Yeah, dina wax si wolof moo koy maa ngi leen di maa ngi leen di ziara di leen nuyu waat ci dellu si bu ma dellu si waat fii nii ak ñun ñëpp fii nii ci suñu weekly show si nii te ñu war a waxtaanee nag loo xam ne maanaam suñu institutions yi maanaam loo xam ne tey ay banqaas yoo xam ne tey dafa tënk suñu dëkk yi tey maanaam ndax gëdd buñ ko war a jox na leen ko ndax cër buñ ko war a jox na leen ko ba pare ndax niñ ko war a doxalee ñu ngi koy doxalee daal. Man for my started like Sam, I'm just going to dinaa wax si wolof but I think sometimes it has to come with my English. Sam, comme fi nga daanale rek the last thing you said about our politics, how to naka la ñu mën a defee ba nit ñi gën a mën a aware exactly ak naka lañ gën a mën a engage into our politics. Man foofu noonu balaa ma ñëw ci suñu institutions yi foofu noonu foog naa ne li ñuy gën a mën a dimbali mooy media maanaam suñ mën a amee benn free flow of media branches yaa ngi understand ba pare dafa nekk independent media branches waaye tey suñu problème ñun Gambia mooy everything that we do there is an interest behind it. You understand? We can come with our independent ideas that we want to establish an independent media platform, and then someone from the government will come and corrupt you, and the intentions that you had to open that media branch, and after what goes on in it is quite different. You understand? And in Gambia, soon by would like Manam Chai. We have a problem like, okay, the journalists today, we have to understand that journalism is something that is very, very difficult and something very, very sensitive. You understand? The journalist has to be very, very good and very equipped to try and find information. You understand? And not just having the source of information, but have the audacity also to say it, to publish it, as how it is. You understand? So yini from you mun ko combine so boba nak ci bir lolu lañuy mëna enlighten nit ñi about exactly what is going in and out of the government. We need this kind of investigative journalists in our country. They will try and follow exactly what's been hidden and what's not been said or published for the public. Because lolu moy sen liggéey. Why in the Gambia, it is said that like 50, 60 or 70% of our journalists, they just say and publish or try and or talk about things that we ourselves know and see every single day. You understand? There are some investigative journalists that we have, but it is not still much. And the problem that can help us is that we have to have independent media branches. Either it is TV or either it is online or either it is newspapers. So man foog naa ne loolu rek mooy mun a tax tey nit ñi ñu mun leen a oriented because of tey Gambia, our population tey ñu am access online and am access to the media, they are more into entertainment than politics. So how to orientate their minds and their intentions or their viewing like habits from entertainment more onto politics. It is the media. We need independent media, qualified and very effective media platforms that can help orientate these people, that can help educate them, that can help bring out information. Because of the Gambia, information and politics, it's just in a way that like you can do it. Like if you always bring an interesting like information that nobody thought that exists, then you will try, people will start putting their mind on exactly what is going on in the country. They will start focusing on politics because of they are hearing interesting things, they are seeing interesting things. They are knowing that their lives can be better than what they are having right now, seen dunda dina mën a gën a mën a yomba waroon naa gën a passé lii nii dunda bu ñuy dunda nii suñu dëkk bi war naa gën a mën a développé lii war nañoo mën a am leneen ak leneen ak leneen ak leneen ak leneen ndekete ñun ñu ngi nax ne tey suñu dëkk bi doxul because of àdduna bi doxul because of tey gis nga government they come with many tools just to distract us from reality. You understand? They can use today. Lots of our governments in Africa, they are using the war, Ukraine and Russia war. You understand? Just to have something that to tell the people. You understand? And that is, and yeah, this Ukraine and Russia war, it is affecting everybody, but it is not affecting like they are saying it right now. So they use those kind of tools and they use moments and things or chaos or problems to deflect our minds and our focus on exactly what they are not doing for us that they should do. So that's the problem. So it is the media that can help us exactly to try and find out a way for people and the Ghanaians to know exactly how politics works in the Gambia, what's not been said, what is hidden, the corruption, because of our problem is corruption. That's the bottom end of everything. Our governments are corrupt, our people ruling in our institutions are corrupt. And the problem is because of they are free. The problem is ñu ngi foofu noonu nekkuñ di def loo xam ne waruñu koo def waaye amul kenn ku taxaw si seen xef wala si seen bakkan naa leen this thing you are doing is not right. You understand? You will never see like our because of today our government is shared into three branches. You have the president, the presidential power, you have the judiciary power, you have the legislative power, and those powers will be separated. But now you have the presidential power controlling both the judiciary and the legislative power. And when that happens, things will happen that should have not been, that should not happen. You understand? So a conflict of interest. So soon legislative power, it's not independent. Soon judiciary power is not independent. Then there can't be a rule of law. And when there can't be a rule of law, there will always be corruption. And through corruption, they enrich themselves and the poor suffer more and more and more and more. So this is where the media comes in. Every country or every government that's not uncomfortable, it is because of it is the media that is making them uncomfortable. Because there is so amee koo xam ne dafa taxaw every day muy taxaw naan ko yaa ngi sàcca bés dina ñëw su bàyyiwul sàcca dina wàññi sàcca because dina xam ne ñëpp seen attention ak seen focus ak seen bopp mu ngi ci moom te ñu ñëpp ay nit lañ am na foo xam ne bu fa tolloo dañoo delloo gannaaw. So that is the problem. So as long as our presidential power, judiciary power, and legislative power mix into each other, or the president is controlling all these three powers, there will always be conflict of interest, and when that happens, there is corruption. So we can't have independence in our institutions, it can't be credible, and we can't trust them. So for me, that's what I'm gonna say for now until we reach.
Welcome, Jaga. Welcome.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jaga.
Can you hear us, Alice?
Yeah,
let
Sam come in, I think.
Sam already came in. You want to jump in?
Yeah, Sam was there.
Sam was already there.
Yep, I started it and just gave a brief overview of everything.
Then I missed something.
Now it's time to get into details.
Then I missed something very big, man.
Yeah.
Anyway, Jaga, thank you.
Got into the details now.
Jaga, thank you very much.
Details.
Yeah, Jaga, thank you very much.
Yeah,
following your.
Yeah.
You can speak in Wolof if you want, okay?
Man, I don't follow all the time. Jaga, so speak. It was very interesting. Anyway, for Gambia, li nga wax yëpp dëgg la waaye ñun dañ am système boo xam ne it's not that easy as nga ne in the West, you know so seetloo ñun foofu nga nekk di nga gis ne yéen seen presse bi they are more independent, seen institutions they are more independent, and so what's the cause of it? Because there is no corruption. Two, they are not waiting for the government to give them something to eat. You understand? So in Africa, ñun problem yooyu lañu am. No, so say you bari
No,
use. So
they
say
are
you
not
bari.
good because of they are scared of the power of the media here. They are very scared of it because of it can, it can create the downfall of a man, the media here, because they are so powerful, they are so
Well,
capable, and they are
little is
independent.
corruption.
So
Little is corruption. Because you also
yeah,
the food dara. Understand? Take the
exactly.
floor
Exactly.
dara. So you also is a complex or the ragal medium. That means they are not dealing clean. Understand?
Yeah.
All of njay mune naga ku bot buki like bowler.
Ebola.
That's it.
Oh, Mali
So
Nyanga feed it.
wow. So all of the
The
guy
expression.
board bookie some no lolo. So when you don't do nothing, nobody
Right. I
believes
know
in
what
you.
you're talking about. Yep.
That's it. That's it. That's it. So I should not be afraid of the media when I'm a clean person.
Mhm.
Why should I be afraid?
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
Kujera media be also. That
Yeah, yeah.
means it's on
Even though
a
if you're not a
wrong
killing
way.
person, but at least people are not hangong gori. They am nangor ki amul gor man ñak nangor am hangong gori tay bokku ñu. Waye at least doomu adamé ak lo munti def rek di nga wara mëna xamné tay am na lo xamné tay tay yank tay ñun buñ nekké xalé tay luñ munti def ci mbédé ñi ngi bayyi xel né am nañ papa bo xamné tay bu ko yégué dé tay ñu am problème. So lool dina mëna ta lepp luñ munti def donte sax dinañ def nako sudul nonu waye dinañ bayyi xel. Xam
That's it.
so
So yo yang
loolu
mau
nag bàyyi xel
yo
boobu
yang mau ñun dañ
lañ amul Africa lañ amul Gambia bàyyi xel boobu noonu fii da ngaa def la neex taxaw ne ok dara
Lola
nekk xew so
understand yang mau ñun amuñ papa foofu. Lola understand. Ñun amuñ papa. So there's nobody who's going to be afraid of the papa. That means anybody can do
no of the the papa like the media or something. No
So
papa.
that's the problem. But I understand you. The matter don't different, right? Why I understand you. So that I guess that problem like whether it's the institutes or the media, it's another form in Africa. Because people are always after something. That means the money. So you come to Gambia, who is having the money? Only the government. You understand? So whether media or TV also, they must have to cooperate with the government so that they can have access, so that they can live, things like that. So for them, that means they are not independent. You understand? So you figure government to live because you are not independent. So you are always afraid so for anything wrong going to that direction because you are after living and your future. And these are the problems we have in Africa. And the cause is poverty. So a lot of time there is corruption. African is even the opposition will run to the president and forget that they are opposition. Why?
Oh, Monday,
Because
no,
of
ñun amuñ
because
opposition.
of because of because they are
Waaw,
because they have to leave and then there is no other alternative. So that means they are even the
dégg
opposition
naa
is not independent. That's where
dégg
we start from. When the opposition is not
naa benn waay
independent,
di wax ne politique soxla wante la rek.
yeah, that's nonsense. But that's how we can believe it in Gambia, for example,
Yeah,
because
soxla wante la rek amul
ñun
problème.
suñ politique, yeah, that's it. Ñun suñ politique. Mooy li ma doon wax rek last time I talk about it also again. Gambia waroon naa romba Singapore. I don't know how because they used to compare it. Gambia waroon naa romba Rwanda. We have all potentials. So Gambian bi dafa war a ask boppam always start ñuy joytu ci roxa bi. Always ask
waaye yaakaar nga ne ñun
why are we here?
yaakaar nga ne ñun Gambien di bëgg nañ dara ñun bëgg nañ dara ñun nga yaakaar ne ñun Gambien waxuma la government ñun
No,
normal
no.
Gambien citizen ñun nga yaakaar ne
Buga nañ dara njaga.
ñun
Believe me, Gambian bi buga na dara de. Ñun we have a problem. I said it here last time too. Ñun waroon nañoo raw New York. Such a small country ak ñun suñ potentials ak suñ resources. Understand?
no
Gambia is
so
not
parce
poor.
que
More when people say it's
waaw
poor, ma ne
xam
ne
sax ma laaj
no.
loolu after dinaa ci ñëw waaw
Wow. So ni ñine dafa poor dama lay wax ne no. We made ourselves poor and thinking that we are poor. So my last time Bilimaron Jema asked Mr. Sawane and I found a neklo you know. Dama lay wax ne ñun as far as Gambians don't know the use of their voting cards and what that can bring them,
Exactly.
we'll always stay in the same position. You understand? So that doesn't mean that they have to vote another person or anything like that. But just put Gambians in the most useful thing they have, and to change anything and to be anywhere they want is their voting card. So they just don't know the use of it. We are still where we are. So either we try and inform the people
And they have
the power of their voting cards and let them know that, then we can change the Gambia. But if not, believe me, we'll never move an inch.
exactly.
Yeah, we'll never move an
Yeah.
inch. Yeah, we'll never move an inch. You're right, Alice. Okay. Thank you, Alice, for that. So let me come in again before we go in the circle again. What I would say in Mandinka, so just to supplement the diversity in this discussion. Yeah, so mbadi mo mbal kontona. Ana tupiki moment bi wala mo tilingo. Tinimbaya masekunda kono aning you know puruka responsibility ta kuwala mole menke. Purna masekunda dulali e garanti o soto fonga tilingo soto drong. Dinara no drong ka foko momorande mendiate be wala kala mote mo check la. Ani anunte cool betula no executive fanambulo president ala mol bulo no wonte mod fanan jiwela ka dogu si fa menke so walatna nanta nanta separation of power ngadulal ngi bondi nyokoto men be judiciary wala tala lori fa men be men ka luwal dada wala parliament wala tala fa executive fana tara fay ngatara ñoo check la nga pour que ñoo check ka ñoo balance dibe juma pour mo bebe la doko ke ka mo sion kana do mo la dulado important bakele because nka credibility même faten pour mo le la system wala fo banko la interest ngo put mo e kol ñaado nin ko ben individual interest kala na doko kono rek waran kana banko sama ñamitore ba promo sulale comme like inteni alas anin njaga anin sambejang bankola interest wona dan to kanyo samba ko manga ko ngakete punto la difo kono ifa wo manta gambia samba la ñaar ni lafta development o kala be bankola interest wala flow put la mune bo kono jan ni contract wona dan ajibe contract wala be tiara bankola dimul employee la I make sure that Kodo stay in the country. Member banko benefit la not kafuka be benefit la sign damade, but in the future, then do more wulo for member wala interest la no no man yina sodo Gambia hani sign. Ajiwemba nga masakunda men sodo. Jawra la masakunda ina la corruption wala abije. Tarta nunje mbeyo kanamdal. But I follow masakunda man corrupt because minister I think Mulmin be a very high position. Nepotism, a bad one like a bad one, someone and card in the system. Put a chance the walla. Instead of Jumala qualified, Mumbai was a Gambia in a general time. Nina the Fanang, minister, and parliament secretary. Yeah, Kodra Kendo Law, citizen will be battering. More financial. Accountability TJ. President Bukata I mul sorong bakot I mul kudul sudan ya mo buka karam abe karaklin damal for roll to the foire yaren bro so jawara botaje jame jiran kanada okay ko ite mano aka kenyami wo o sagara le wonata momondi yata aka lafke fafon so ron fa mota jele ha barate ate ya beta fona mo ate futa tembula foi ka claim as a billionaire so o fana mo another form of corruption ha ite model stuff but it go saying modern diabetes until time Gambia karaka wala fano but being ala paleta kama muna saya mintole yo je fengena barona ro kay ko adul be maro alkamenke jawro bukata barala mul batala baroko nde batala le na mul fana yata so ngai wo kanyum boda dimba ka fa meko boda frying pan kono jonta dimba kono sai the corruption la karola sai wo kany dia ku ya fonga jeni kanum boda dimba boda karelo kono sai jolonta dimba fonka so wala jalo fonga betari ala sai kala gambe kada damido be ka tumbu ka gambe financially man ku do londe but economically nka tumbu wala wala tumbu kale tumbu londe man ko gaf me tumbu nka chele wala when it comes to physical responsibility so I think it's about time come like njaga alas aning sami memvo nga more accountable nga transparency and accountability and credibility and institutional to luale tala loring momonde ma keku nga punish investigational yake ning any financial investigational assess declarational yake dulali moli ajeko bankola na flow ay stay ajibe ni landson men yalo ko yadi minister sulla from minister of works akate yo di wala because so landso dul jamila time yo wala landso tal no wala landso tal wala ta ya fight in the court of law but it na like landso di moment na adiate so ngaji madi jobate and other people are coming out good citizen purka ko nyimbay ka iko minister ni arrest Musa Drame le bang ya arrest many banko la kodota ya yule amurundi ko Bakari Baji ñol kada ora Aisha Dr. Aisha Touré ñol yumulla kodal mun o ko kenol ñi murundi back because ima deserve ye mu nek Gambia mi yalon ko molbe kodo dila molbe kenotale ya dila ye mu nek Gambia itama menke you are here every Sunday albe Gambia no sensitized albe ko mol fola ina na man si keno di mol andi ni ko be keno fon de parce que ndala keno ni ko ba dila mo ba di no la mo be la nyadi ba sut no la nyadi is so the best thing is as a wafi ya put into use for the poor people but you might be Gambia maybe because that's a morning content there's a lot of medical issues but political bake and political funko alliances okay so that is another big scandal. Another one is I forgot recently there is another corruption scandal. I just remember it. But now on your land issue and another one also. I remember
Corosis's family, their compound.
No, not that one. I had it in my mind, but but anyway, just to make the story short, accountability, financial accountability. Well, Gambia Bondila. We have to, preach. We have to practice what we preach. Okay, it I'll be multi-millionaire or I'll be super rich because you access totally. No, that's not a good example. It demonstrate like I am fair by showing your accountability. If you have other businesses, but make sure that you declare your asset, make sure that you show accountability by punishing. Even more punish la many because corruption institutional mental doko kekan ye more falling ye bondage. Don't look at only political alliances, political may power. That's not gonna benefit the country. This is our problem in Africa. Africa na leader soul. They are too much hungry Don't malonko in dunia fembu kalabang. You know, what you enjoy 200 years ago or 120 years ago, are you still enjoying it? No. And you cannot still enjoy it because one day you will die. So and if you die, you're meeting something ahead. You'll be accounted for every little thing. But honey, mind, leader soul. They are deficient in thinking. Because no, there's very common sense. How much can you be a leader in this damn age? At a 20 years, 10 years. So you think about what you're gonna after the rest of your life. If you want to freely walk around, banko can mote accounted, you know, be accounted for, or mote bodle no okay, somebody jail, live your life and hold people accountable. I say that I'm here, leadership, Alas and Sam and Injaga, they are doing stuff, and I say I'm not a malo, makalamut. It's not me. Marso, you know, Marso, Marso Kudoman, Basse. The governor there is giving it to anyhow he wants. You ask the government, it's not me, it's their responsibility. No, it doesn't that follow governor. This is how it's supposed to be. Don't just give it to the party affiliates. Give it across to people who need it. More many need a deal. And I pay more country with janitor jail and stuff like that. But it ain't Karimu MPP a deal. How is this country gonna develop? It's about time. In the leadership, we speak truth to our leadership. Palaso Manjari Wala, my friend. Okay, you have potential. You can work like a time. Why would you depend on government Palaso so too much that ibe wuli afola, ibe cool kelameni yalo ko ite kisa no la fon. Because iman tala tunya ke kemele banko kano imon lo because of mon Palaso. Ninga ka bembayla. Ninga nyike mfengele. No. And what do we not for a until for and the bank thing and Alaska men for moment they have voters card so the value of their alone. They know the value of their voters card. They refuse to put the value into practice voluntarily because of iman wasa because of iman dangene and iman left ka wuli ka doku because honey business in no the table on the young be. If you do things every day, anything that you do, you can't every day, wallahi, you will make something. Hanikalo silo every day. But Gambians don't want to do that. So I'm seeing young. You know, we are all confused. Nabanko supposed to be Singapore 10 years ago, 20 years ago. But I remember we are the worst in the face of Africa, in the face of the world. Mojibe, Ibe caller 24/7. I don't know if you guys get calls. Mambol Wasoro. From nowhere. From nowhere. And then they are crying. Their babies are crying. Konko Bela. Because no. This government is sitting there saying that everything is okay. We are progressing.
But Mr. Sane,
how they even get voted to power? Maybe Gambian Mantara elections used them, or if the elections is really fair and squared. But anyway, so to give you guys a chance, but Gambia problem more stress like. Hanatul for each and every one of you can do a better job to uplift Gambia from poverty by the simple knowledge that you have. Now, I don't know, I'll genuine that, I'll integrity, I'll love for the love of your country. Each one of you here, I have confidence you can do it. So, let me, you guys, we can go around the circle one more time.
Yeah, thank you, Mrs. Swane. Thank you, Alice, and thank you, Njega. Like I said earlier, I was just opening the door, by giving an overview of what we're going to talk about so that we can get into the details. And now the details are coming. And Jaga brought a very good point. Alice said a very good point. So, Same thing, a lot of good points here. We're getting into details. And at the end of the day, corruption becomes the number one issue in our country. You know, corruption, corruption, corruption. We've talked about this so many times, and we still don't have that person that can end corruption in our country. It's very tough. It's very tough, and it's unfortunate. And that's why I said, with all the things that we were talking about, when we say independent institutions, it's very important that for IEC to be independent. They are not independent. We need to make sure that IEC is independent. And one of the tasks that I am going to specifically task our new parliament, our new National Assembly, is to really change the laws so that IEC chairman is elected by the people, not nominated by the president. Should be someone that's elected by the people. So when they're elected by the people, number one, no one in the government, including the president, can fire them. Okay. So when they don't have that fear of losing their job, and they will be straightforward and conduct elections to be free and fair. That's very important. If not, what Alice was talking about too, people knowing the value of their voter registration cards is important. It's important. Some people do know it. Some people don't know the value, just like Alice said. And but no matter what they do, even if the whole country knew the value of their voter registration card and go and vote, if IEC is not fair, that election will not be fair. So the right person will not be selected, will not be elected, because there's corruption in IEC. So it's very important that our new National Assembly members really change the law so that IEC chairman get elected by the people. That's one. On the other part, corruption is very, very, very important. And Jaga made a very good point here. Independent media, we need that. We need the independent media in our country that's going to be really doing investigative journalism, investigate the government, and reveal all the things that people don't know about, so that the general public can be aware of all of these things. And if you look at all of these, they fall under 5 things that I mentioned in the past in here and on my audios and all of that stuff that I revealed in the past. There are 5 key ingredients to ending corruption. And one of them is stop the impunity, impunity of the people. Basically, you want to make sure that we hold people accountable and punish the people that need to be punished. People do something wrong, they steal our government coffers, they steal money, they embezzle funds, arrest them, prosecute them, and take them to prison. Set that example. So that is one that really needs to happen. Number 2, reform the administration and financial infrastructure. Very important to reform our administration and financial management system. Very, very important. You see, we talked about Jawara's time. Then Jammeh came in and took charge and went with a very heavy force to stop corruption. But then the problem is, Jammeh, just like Sawana said, Jammeh tried to stop the people from corruption, but he held the money himself and became richer than the country itself, which is wrong. The thing is, the problem I saw in that area too is Jammeh was using force. He was not using a system that really should end corruption. There should be a system in place. If we change our financial management system so that we close all the loopholes, take cash out of people's hands, nobody has access to cash. Everything is done through electronic funds transfer. When it's going that way, then nobody can take any money anywhere, because you don't have access to it. And another thing I added to my my audience in the past, is to create something called delegation of authority. When you have a delegation of authority, what that means is everybody has a limit. And even the banks know that the minister can only take out 1 million. That's it, nothing more. Any bank that gives any minister more than $1 million, guess what? Is not going to get paid by the government, because you already know that their delegation is $1 million. So nobody can steal more than $1 million. I'm just giving an example. If you have a delegation for every level of the government officials, a minister, a permanent secretary, a director, a managing director, they all have a limit. They cannot pass that limit. So nobody can take a huge amount of money because they're only allowed to take this much for things. And of course, two-party verification. Any funds that's coming out, even though it's not going to be cash, it has to be electronic funds transfer. If you have two-party verification, if this person needs to take money because it's for official, let's say they need to buy an official vehicle. Well, somebody else needs to be involved. Somebody else has to approve that, not you alone. So you cannot take $1 million, claiming you're going to buy a vehicle, and then go spend $750,000 or $700,000 on a vehicle, and then keep the $300,000 in your pocket. That's not going to happen because the other person also knows that you're taking $1 million. And that vehicle should be $1 million. It should be $1 million vehicle. I'm just giving an example. And then that's why I said reconciliation need to come in place. Somebody need to reconcile. Okay, this $1 million came out of our account. Did we put it into a vehicle? Yes. Where is the vehicle? Here's the invoice of the vehicle. Somebody need to reconcile and make sure, yes, $1 million went out, but a vehicle came in. The cost of the vehicle is this. And there's a lot of things. So the financial management system really need to change. The third thing I'm going to talk about corruption is really to promote transparency. You know, we're not seeing that much enough. We're not seeing enough of promoting transparency. Everything, and this starts with the president. The president needs to promote transparency. Everything he does that involve funds and things like that, and all the ministers, they need to be transparent about it. They need to tell the truth. When Mamburen Jai also goes to the parliament to give the budget, he needs to give the details. If not, the parliament, the National Assembly members need to question. They need to question everything to see the details of everything. If not, they can say, no, we're not approving it. Let him go back. That's it. They are in charge. They need to know their role, that they are in charge, not Mamburen Jai, not the president. The budget of the country is for Gambians. The National Assembly has been elected to represent Gambians, so they are in charge. They are the boss. They are the ones that should say, yes, we can approve this because now we know everything. Or they can say, no, we're not approving this. You need to revise this. We need to see this. You know, they should be able to do that. So promoting transparency is very important. The other part is, the fourth pillar is empowering our citizens, empowering our citizens to hold the government accountable, which includes the media, like Njaga was talking about. That's where that came in. You know, if you want to stop corruption, you've got to be able to empower the citizens to be able to hold the government accountable. And that's how you can create transparency. And the fifth one I would say is to close the international loopholes. Do not allow anybody to take any funds out, to put it in any international account, to go buy anything international. If you do that, you can you can control corruption in a country. But without that, and all of this needs to start with the president. So first, you have to have a leader that knows how. If you don't know how, well, Sam is going to tell you something. Alice is going to tell you another one. And Sawada is going to tell you a different story. And Jaga is going to come in and tell you a different story. Who do you believe? Because you don't know. That's the problem. You don't know yourself. So who do you go with? It's very important for people to, that's why I said it's important that IEC to be independent, so that people can vote for the right person that they trust, that they believe in, someone that has the integrity, someone that can come in and declare their assets and say, and ask everyone else to declare their assets, and someone that is trustworthy, someone that is honest to their people, someone that has a vision for the country that can make this country move forward. Without that, just like Alice was saying, we're not moving an inch. We're not going to move an inch. We're just going to change people. We're changing the bodies. We're changing the bodies, but we're not changing anything. And of course, the president need to be able to hold all of his ministers accountable, hold them accountable. Really have a monthly meeting with the ministers and hold them accountable. Where is your budget? Here's your budget. What did you do this past month? Look at your financial statement. Your monthly financial statement need to be reviewed to see how much money did they spend out of their budget. Did they stay within their budget, or are they overspending? Stop it right there before we get to the end of the year. By the time you get to the end of the year, if you don't stop it now, you'll be millions and millions in overspending. So there is a lot of stuff that needs to happen. And unfortunately, it's sad our country is not moving in that direction because we don't have that right leader that knows how and that is going to hold himself accountable and then hold the other people accountable. So I'm going to stop here for a minute.
Oh,
Thank
you,
you,
sir.
sir.
Yeah.
That was good.
Yeah, that was a great one.
I'm very
Yeah,
happy.
that was. Mhm.
Yeah, Njaka can
Yeah, that
comment.
was that
Ask
was
question.
pretty.
Yeah, you can come in.
Yeah, like there was one point there, something that you were talking about. Like it came at the same time, it was in my mind that you said about how to control cash flow. By controlling cash flow, we can reduce a little bit portion of corruption. You understand? And to do that, we have to digitalize lots of systems in our country. But it will take years though. But people got to have to get used to it. But to do that also, to digitalize things also, you have to have a reliable source of energy and stuff like that. You have to develop the rural areas and all those things. So there's a lot of work to put into, like, comme yàgg naa ko fay wax ñun suñu dëkk bi, like to build it up, you have to, like, put down everything. You have to, demolish everything because of from the foundation from scratch. I don't think that there's something good about our when it comes to our institutions, the foundations and everything. And the problem of the Gambia is, like, Sam, as you are saying, the people involved of these institutions, they know exactly what is going on. They travel. They were in the Americas, the Europes, and everything. They know how the world is going, how things are going. How many how many how people have advanced, how the countries have advanced when it comes to technology, infrastructure, economics, agriculture, and everything. They know it. They see it. I'm not saying they were working here. You understand? So you can't say that they know it. But the problem is, like, okay, tey suma fate manam turu bu ma dugale suma loxo pour sàcca dootuma sàcca. So that's the problem. They know it. So they know that there are certain things that when they do it for the Gambians, it will, like, it will hinder their source of income and corruption. So they will not do it. So for them, okay, Gambians, excuse me for the word, like, we are a little bit ignorant when it comes to certain things. So they let it be like that. You understand? They will never ever do an effort to change it. So more than alas, nah ñun am nañ fulla ci suñu boppa. So ñun ñoo wara am fulla fayda na change ko by force. You understand? Because of ñoom, they will never ever bother to change it.
Well, the only
The problem
let me stop you right there, Njaga. The only way to change it is to perhaps come with a bill or trying to introduce a bill in the National Assembly. Those are the only ways to do it. Otherwise,
okay, that is the problem. The problem starts from the
go
National
protest.
Assembly. Who is the head of the National
But
Assembly? He must have been for the
danga
president.
understand, Jaga, danga understand ne ñun ñoy Gambia. We are Gambia.
Wow.
You have to understand that we are Gambia. When anything goes wrong, we have to point the finger to us again, not Barrow or anybody. We are
exactly.
Gambia.
That's what I'm saying. It's us.
So and that's it. That goes to up to our voting cards. We are Gambia. We put Gambia where it is today and where it is going to be tomorrow.
Okay, before ñu tamit dañoo amaat foofu noonu beneen problème mooy ne tey suñ politicians yi they don't have this kind of patience to sensitize us when it comes to politics. So dañ bëgg a dugg si politics tey falu ginnaaw ëllëg. So da ngaa gis ne moo tax buñ si diggee 1 year elections and falu wuñ rek they go to the government because of then you know their intentions. Their intentions were this and that for fame, power and money. So those were their intentions. So amuñu patience boo xam ne ñun sax dinañu mën a sensitize. So those are that is the problem. Tey da ngaa gis tey yeneen countries, our neighbors like Senegal, they know more. when it comes to democracy, rule of law, when it comes to politics, they are way, way ahead of us. Because of the problem is like, you see a political party or a political person, being in politics for 15 years, 10 years, engaging into things, they will, no matter what happens, he's still into politics, he's still an opposition leader. So by doing that, the whole of the country gets behind that person because of his ethics and his way of doing politics and stuff like that. So that is the thing that we are lacking in our country. Our politicians, they are not giving us the chance to show exactly who they are and the real sides of them. But trust me, hanga ñu naan nit ki moom balaa nga xam sa waay la dox leen si doxin bi la maanaam nit ki ak nu mu munti mel na si doxin bi la bu doxin bi yàggee bu ànd bi yàggee nga xam ba façon nit la bu ànd bi yàggu nga sax fa xam ba façon nit la. So ñun nag suñ politiciens si Gambia bi ñun amuñ benn patience boo xam ne dinañ mën a toog ko 5 years 10 years di oppose kenn lañ ci am mooy Halifa Sallah ci Sénégal Gambia ni gëmuñu ko. That's the reality. You understand? No, no more reality. Gambia ni gëmuñu ko because of why they have their own reasons. Why
or is it that Halifa couldn't sell himself? I mean,
no. Gambians in Yoko Gomol. No. Gambians in Yoko Gomol because of Gambia our political culture dafa am luñ ko tëddee dafa am luñ ko tëggee from Jawara to Barrow mooy ethnic stuff daf ci dugga, tribalism daf ci dugga. That's the reality.
That's everywhere.
You understand? No. We are trying to have a debate here. Okay.
Yeah,
my understanding.
I just wanted to help you here. I just wanted to help you here.
Yeah.
Everybody knows that Halifa is a talented person. Everybody knows, even if people are opposing him, that he could bring maybe Gambia one step further because of his talents and so. I'm not Doi, but I know him from his intellectual. I mean, this man is a I don't know how to call it. Is a diamond for Gambia. Even if people hate him, the truth is the truth.
Yes.
He's not my friend, not my father. I'm not a Doi, but I'm just telling the truth.
No, go when you go.
So they cannot believe in him. They cannot believe in him, and they cannot take him serious.
Because of what?
Because he is not having money. You get me?
Okay.
He's not having money.
You think that's the only problem?
A Gambian to when you come and tell them all the thing, what is going to benefit them tomorrow, at the end of the day, they are waiting that you give them money. So if the money is not there,
exactly,
they don't believe anything you tell them again.
Exactly.
So that means our politics is with money. If you get money,
exactly,
you don't even need to tell them anything. You don't even need to tell them anything.
Exactly.
If you get money, you don't even need to make campaign. They vote for you.
There comes to us.
So
then everything
that's
now
the difference.
comes back
that's
to us.
The difference.
Let me give you an example.
Yeah.
Exactly. Let me give you an example today. In Senegal, because we can take it because they are our brother country. You have a politician called Ousmane Sonko. He doesn't have money, but it is the Senegalese people who are putting their monies together. They have $10 and $15 and $25. Give him to campaign anything that he wants. It is the Senegalese people taking it from their pocket and giving it to him because of they think that he holds a project that's the future of every Senegalese and even the future of Africa. Because of he brought a plan, he brought a project, he brought something that he sold to the Senegalese people, and every Senegalese person bought it. So that's the thing that we need in Gambia. We need a politician who will bring something very interesting that we know exactly. Because of today, when we see somebody like that person in Senegal, he was working with the government, but when they went through his background, he was the most cleanest and the most loyal and the most respectful person in the government when he was working there. So these are the kind of politicians that we need, that we have to follow your background.
But when we come to Gambia,
your loyalty, how honest you are. So
when we come to Gambia, he can be loyal and clean and everything. But if he doesn't get money, that's the problem. So that means we are fooling ourselves. I started telling you we are Gambia. I started telling you we are Gambia. We cannot have such a precious person.
We, exactly.
No, that's it. We cannot have such a
Exactly. So
precious
that's why I say
person
that we have to
and
take
know
matters in our hands.
exactly, just wait and know exactly he can take us forward. So because of our political interest,
Exactly.
we divert.
Mhm.
So where are you
So,
going to when you don't
so
take
in
the
this,
best?
So that's
That
why.
means
That's
okay,
why.
we
right now
propose
in
that
this
ourselves
political, okay,
to
that's
take
all.
bad people in front of us. Then we should not
Do you
complain at
think
the
that?
end because we don't know the use of our voting card.
So do you think that
No,
there
That's
is
why I
a
always
future?
focus on that.
no,
When it
no.
comes,
I think
yeah.
I have to jump in here
So
also to help you, Njaka, before you move forward. What Alice is saying,
okay.
money is the problem. That's true.
Mhm.
Now our
Mhm.
duty is to
Mhm.
continue sensitizing our people and showing them how they can be financially independent,
Okay,
because
who will
it is
sensitize our people?
there
Who?
is us as we are doing in this platform, on other
Us,
platforms.
us, us.
Yes,
Okay,
us
us.
the people,
Okay,
and then
okay,
we should
okay.
also take a lead.
Yeah.
We should also take a lead,
Mhm.
you know, not
Mhm.
falling for
Mhm.
these
Mhm.
politicians just because they have money. Because some people here
Exactly.
some people here left because of position, they
Mhm.
change. We had one even
Mhm.
on this platform
Mhm.
who was anti the system.
Mhm.
Now he said he doesn't see corruption
Mhm.
anymore. But when he was here, he saw corruption. When we went there,
Yeah. That's the
found what.
independence. That's
Exactly.
the independence
Exactly.
Jaga was saying.
So we
No,
need
no, no.
to
Why
see,
hanga? Why?
we have
Why
a
hanga?
serious
No,
problem
no,
here.
no, no. Why hanga? You know that person, you're someone you know him, but maybe you don't know his background. That's why I say that it is time that all the politicians who stand to trying to claim our country, we should try and know exactly who he is as a person from his childhood. You understand? So by knowing that, it will help us to try and profile a perfect political candidate that the Gambian people will support and stand for. But can I ask you all of you a question? Okay, right now our political atmosphere, how it is, and our politician, who do you think that our Gambian politics has a future? Do you see a future in it?
There is a future,
There
I
is
would
a
say,
future. We just need
but
to inform the
the
people.
challenge,
Where
but here's
where
the
do you
challenge.
see the future?
No,
Where in any
no,
political leader or any political
okay.
party or in people, or where do you see that? Because trust me, I don't.
Because
So
I
maybe
watching
you can
and
help me
looking at
identify.
I think people are becoming really are gradually becoming politically politically
The
Aware.
literate.
people.
If you look at this parliamentary election, they are voting for
Mhm,
people that are,
mhm,
they are not voting
mhm,
for party lines. What they're voting is people who they think can do the job. I have, for the first time in
mhm.
government history, I look at this parliamentary election, most of them are like that. Although there might be pockets that are for
So
party.
now you are telling me. So now
Okay,
we all can
you know
agree
what
that,
that you know what that
now
shows,
it is
you
the
know what that
people who
shows.
we think that can change things, but there is no political party or any political personnel right now in this political arena in Gambia who can change things. That's what I'm saying.
No,
So
no, it's gonna be
which means
hard
that
for
now
one.
we have
It's
to.
gonna be hard for Njaga. It's gonna be hard for one person to do it. We have to do it. We have to go as a group, at least
Yeah.
most of us, to make this country change. If we want to find one single person, you know what,
Mhm.
that person will stay
But
there
we
for
need a
24
leader.
hours.
We need,
No, 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 no. Let me finish. Let me finish here, Njaga.
it's
Njaga, let
kind
me
of an
finish here.
interesting debate because of if we have to change things, we have to have
Let's say we
who is
put
going to
Sam there.
lead us
Let's
to
say we
change
put
things.
Sam there. Sam is a
Yeah, Sam. Yeah,
Sam is a wonderful person.
yeah.
He
I will vote for
has
Sam.
all the credibility and so forth. But guess what? That Sam
Thank you,
right?
Sam, President of the
Listen here,
Gambia.
guys, listen here. I'm gonna give you an example here, real life example. This Sam that we all trust and we all know and we all think we can do it. The moment that Sam step in that place, whether they're gonna go do a voodoo on him, whether they're gonna do something on him, this Sam would start to align
No, yeah,
the
correct.
other side of the people. That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
correct.
We still know.
Okay.
No. Sam will, for the first 6 months, he would do great. That's what happened to Barrow. He would do great for the first 1 year, maybe.
Okay, this is the
But
problem.
after,
This is the problem. This is the problem. Like we are putting everybody in one basket. Whilst there is someone there who can change things, but because of like our set of mentality that like they are all the same and they can be trustworthy today and tomorrow they can be corrupt and stuff. Why there can be somebody who can lead us to glory days.
So you think Halifa can do that?
No, I'm not talking about, no. I'm not talking about Halifa. I'm not talking about Halifa. Halifa is like, you know, we have
Baroka
the future. Yeah.
Can I come in for a little bit here? I'm going to concur with Njaga and Alice, and I said this a long time ago during 2016 coalition. I said, in my mind, and that was my judgment, one of the most qualified candidates to be president was Halifa Saleh. Halifa Saleh, and I kept saying that he should have been the one that they elected to take the country with that 3-year mandate, and he would have done it. He would have stayed for 3 years and then conduct elections and then get out. And he would have followed the manifesto. He would have followed the manifesto to what they wrote for all the reforms that needed to happen. He would have followed that. I did not have any doubt. I trusted him. I think he would have, among all the candidates that were available at that time, he was one of the best choice, and Gambians should have voted for him. That's
trust me, yes.
And I still believe in that. That's what should have happened, but it didn't happen. So
good that you see it like that, and most of the Gambians, they know that also. But the majority of the voters, as I said, Halifa is not having money. So majority of the voters, they
because of like,
money.
I don't think
to
money
solve their problems, and this money is just to solve their problems.
That's what I said.
The time of the election. No. I mean, just wait. This money,
it's not just about money.
They used to forget this money they are given just for the period of elections. They forget all about their problems. You understand? And vote some. So right after, day after, or a week after, they start crying again. So I don't think even these people, God will help them, because God give them everything they need to change their lives. They are ignoring it. God gave you the brain, God gave you a voting card to adjust your life, to make your life better, and you don't use it. I don't think you can blame anybody for it.
I think
God, then it's even a problem, because you cannot accuse God for that.
I don't necessarily think that money is Halifa Saleh's problem. I don't think people didn't vote him because he did not have money. I think he has enough and he's content with what he has.
No, but he cannot be distributing money like that. It's not having the coffers.
People should not be looking for someone that's going to give them a bunch of money. They shouldn't be looking for that. That's not a good sign.
Exactly.
They should be looking for who is going to lead this country, who can lead this country and sustain it. That's what Gambian people need to look for. So, but that's what I wanted to say to that. And there was something else someone mentioned. That,
I wanted to help you some with one point here. You just said about our money management. Our money management, that is very good and very right. I mean, the suggestion is good. You can optimize it, but it's a fantastic way. So what I just wanted to say again is to fight that corruption. I was even trying to say Barrow can do like this. At the end of the year, he can call the minister of whatsoever and look at the numbers and warn that person. If I don't see any plus, that means your salary is going to be reduced to so-and-so%. You understand? So that means that person will try to make sure that something whatsoever as plus is going to come out from his ministry. They'll work. You understand? So and then again, to fight the corruption, one alone cannot do it. Even Barrow alone cannot do it. You understand? Because if he wants to do it, he's going to have problem with the others. So what is he going to do? Allow it as it is, which is very dangerous again for our economy.
So
he's also in a very funny position now.
Let me give another example here. And to Sawal, thanks for that, Alice. I think every president really should not wait till the end of the year to ask. It should be monthly basis. You need to look at your numbers every month. Your budget. Are you staying within your budget to guide them so they don't overspend and take corrective actions before we
Right.
get to the
I
end.
just said, yeah,
So,
it can be every 3 months or, every month.
yeah. So that is good. Sawana's point, what Mr. Sawana was saying, based on Jaga's question, do we have that person in the Gambian political arena right now? Or do we have that leader that can lead the country? Yes, we can have that leader. And the leader has to be someone that knows how. We cannot bring any leader out that has no experience. You cannot run a country with no experience. Okay. With no experience, yes, you can surround yourself with experienced people, but those experienced people can fool you if you don't have experience yourself. You see what I mean? So we need to have an experienced person. An experienced person.
That's what's going on right now in our country.
That can run the country.
Like that,
It's just like, here's an example. If you are the chief mechanic of a garage, a big garage shop, you are the chief mechanic. You know everything, maybe not everything, but you know how things work. You know a lot about vehicles, all right? You hired an electrician for vehicles. You have a mechanic for vehicles. You have someone that does the fuel injection. You have another person that does brakes. You have another person that can work on transmission. You have all these different people doing things. As the chief mechanic in that garage, if you don't know how, you don't have any clue in any of these, you're still not going to work. But if you do know how, guess what? No one can fool you, number one. And number two, if you know that this transmission guy is not doing his job, you can get rid of him and get somebody else. That's how you can go. But without knowing anything, so in the government, it is the same thing. If you don't have an experienced person that knows how things should go and how to run a country, it's not going to be easy for that person. We need that leader that knows how, who is not going to be fooled easily. Okay, who is not going to be fooled easily because that person knows how. That also person has a lot of experience in a lot of different areas. That's the type of leader we need. That is going to be able to stop people from doing the wrong things and correct them to do the right thing or get rid of them. You have to, when you're a leader, you have to be able to get rid of the wrong people because you need to surround yourself because you're going to be building a legacy for yourself. And if I were a president today, I don't want anybody that's going to steal. I am going to put something in place. I'm going to change the system so you cannot steal. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start with that. I'm going to change. Number one, I'm going to make sure that there are new laws first to guide everyone for what they need to do. Then I need to hold myself accountable and hold everyone accountable to follow that. So if you go wrong, you go outside of those, you're out. There are a lot of talented Gambians all over the world. I am going to get you out and bring someone else that's going to do, and that's going to do the right thing. And I'm going to hold you accountable. I'm going to have a monthly meeting with you. A monthly meeting with you to make sure that you are on track and your department is on track, that you're not overspending, you're not, no money is missing anywhere. I want to be able to reconcile your department's account. I want to make sure I see all of that. You've got to be able to hold people accountable. If you don't know how to do any of that, you will be easily fooled.
Okay. Thank you, Sam.
Sometimes, I just wanted to say something, Mrs. Owen. Sam, thank you, because I see the whole thing as we are beating a dead horse here.
Is the horse dead already?
He's already dead, so we're beating a dead horse to run. I know, is laughing again. So the best thing is,
I thought he's still alive, but anyway.
Yeah, but the best thing is, we just take what we have and what we voted for now and try to do the best out of it. That means maybe trying to see that Barrow has a very good advisor near him. I know that nobody can know everything, as Sam said, even if you are experienced maybe in other things, to rule a country, there are a lot of things, which any president needs help somehow. The intelligent presidents, they have the best advisors. They are his friends. The best intellectuals he's dealing with, and then they can deliver also the best results. So here, maybe we just pray that Barrow also try to have a very good person near him, or persons. It can be 2 or 3 who used to discuss with him with the most important things in the country to help him, because we cannot change the system. We cannot change anything. That's why I said we have to stop beating the dead horse now.
Okay, the dead
He's
horse.
not going to come up and run again. So it's a waste of time.
Yeah.
So the best thing, we pray
So
that
can I say my last words before because I have to go to somewhere and come back now, of course.
Yeah. But before you come, Jaga, let me just say this.
Yeah.
So that you can come and wrap it up. You can wrap it up. Just left them for like 2 things. For in Mandinka. Into leadership problem. Abe solve la nyaming. Or Gambia issue. It has to be collective. For being now together, conscious mind, conscious awareness. Ikafumena ko mul kuningo furata banku kan. Just like Senegal benyaming. Gambians willing to awareness, willing to spread la across. No tara janjanta banku ka mulbe banale banya bany. Mulbe banale pour moni kodo sang. Mulbe banale pour mole advantage tail. Wole man Gambia man for the jail to follow. Ibina watule Gambia no binela banku kela top priority. No for the I swear. No leader will leader to multi advantage tan or mola. It remember menke the Gambia about the 3 years. If that in Senegal na that will never happen. But going to 5 years in Senegal na that will not happen. All the things many alonko look at the selection of Fatmata Jawara. Kana back to the cabinet after election no lose. Fabakari Tombonjada, Mea Lonko, Yajamela time, they had a bad record. And then Sirinjai. You want someone deliberately to put them. Gambians are still sitting, especially the parliament. So, Gambians, Manfuta, Banko Jarena Kubela, Manfuta follow collectively. What are the near leader, someone be? Anata. A Gambian no lead. Hana Betiata. All these leaders come based on Ibn and Betiale, Hanabekela 1 year or 2 years. Munekeke, people around them, minimum betea, what else theater? Ike twist. Malo ike twist no ya dile. I don't know exactly. But I have a feeling that Ike spiritual funko ika loosely. And they become like them. I'm telling you, Nimole Doko Kaminianko, they are close to the president. Both president. I know president you will trust, but they have but they are very tactical. They are very tactical than the president himself. So, Ninamo Promoti, Neo Mosifa Soto, Ilata Walla, as a leader. So if finding a leader someone has a resistant no body no long I resistance to this kind of people. Yes, as it changes someone to the country. That's the only way. But say leader so many long you sort of will book a chance to the lead. Will promote it. I don't know promote. So nimman do so no alanga collective way alanga fight. But doko men na platform or any other platform, I don't know fight na sensitization or arise nyola bank water bulo. Because leader men nantin kela wol ni ye wol je juna fa ikol kuntule wara ye beret wara ye jamfandi. So leader should be a chance to know pre election from win wara ye na close to the ring. So we are suffering. So say massive education, rising up, consciousness, bang, mobe ya foko, ntol mansula mola kodila, na bankole important, na fitole important, mano that we cannot take this anymore. That consciousness will be falling the sambal na wala na baroman si jama winning president in cabinet. I presidency win because mulman pareka fay usenwe. That's just the bottom line. A manyin dole win because mole banyle ala candidate ole ye banyala system molale. So Barrow will have a hard time in the next 5 years. Either he likes it or not, because Gambia no sign consciousness in platform sifa akawole samana. So I just want to tell you guys, Gambia problem was to solve knowledge. I will solve relevant. It will take time. In the next 5 years, I'll be not a new platform. Baby balloon. Gambia has taken far. Gambia they take their country back from Mulme. They don't know how, or they are taking advantage. So that's my last word. Yeah,
thank you, Mr.
Jaka can come and then we go around the circle and finish.
Yeah, and I just want to add something to that. Like there was a time a few years ago that I had this kind of idea of creating a movement, this democratic movement, especially. It will stand for like everything that is like what the government should do and are not doing, how to fight it and how to stand for the rights of the people when it comes to, lack of rule of law, when it comes to lack of job security, corruption and all those things. But I think that it is time for us to start. I think I have to work on that. But now when I was planning that, I was in Gambia, and honestly, this was the reason why, because of, and at the same time, not just being there to be a pain for the government, but at the same time sensitizing the people, when it comes to their government, the country, and when it comes to their rights, their votings, when it comes to politics and all these things. I think it's very important that we have this kind of movement in our country. Because today, when you go to Senegal, you have different kinds of movements, lots of associations in Senegal that, trust me, they are a problem with to the government. And it's true, because it keeps the government on their toes. You understand, you have lots of it when it comes to Islam, when it comes to our culture, when it comes to our moral way of behavior, when it comes to politics, when it comes to, you understand, and associations are telling the government that the things you are doing, we are not going to accept it anymore. These political leaders, you are not going to touch them. There is a political leader there. It's the people who is standing between him and the government. You understand? So they don't even dare lay a hand on him, and they're trying everything to neutralize him. So those kind of politics that we need in our country. I know that we have a very long way to go, but we just need a start. But where to start? Yeah, when it comes to what we are doing right now, the negative media. But the problem is, how many Gambian people can afford megabytes to connect online and watch this show online? How many Gambians can do that? Because of right now, Gambians are having problems with connections with Africell, QCell, and all those things, because of like you buy $100 of megabytes in a flash and everything is gone. You understand?
Maybe they are even blocking
credit.
Maybe they're even blocking us, from government us, maybe.
You understand? So those kind of, we are trying, but the problem is there's this kind of system that is blocking what we are trying to do here. So it has to be both with
what we are doing here, Nyaga, if they want, they can all put it on their TVs, like ITV or Ku TV, and I don't know, if they want to help the fellow Gambians, because it's no problem. I don't think Mr. Sawane will be angry when they try to show it in their TV channels. No problem. It's just to help the Gambians. We need to be more aware.
And the problem is, like, our independent media, if I thought that we have independent media branches, there should be more, there should be, as I said, there should be more like, there should be a pain to the government and a pressure to our politicians. I think
more aggressive.
Why? No. Yeah, a little bit more. No. This is not Sam. Sam, you want to take this one? Suñ journalism bi suñ media dafa nooy trop. Because of man, I watch it. You understand? They invite certain kind of politicians, and when they how they talk to them and the question they should, it's like they're kind of shy or scared. Look, this job is not about that. This job, you are trying to find information from people who you think that when you have information from them, it will be very essential to the population and the country or the citizens of that country. You understand? So I'm Rayal. Try to get the facts, and when you want to get it straight and in a very bold way, if you can. So
only if you are independent, but not when. Only if you are independent, but not when you're expecting money.
Thank you, Jaga. Yeah. So Alice, you want to comment on Sam?
No, anyway, for me, yeah, what should I say? Jaga said all, Sam said all, you said all, Mr. Sawane. Let us hope for the best for the Gambians and the Gambian people. And I mean, I only have a question here. For example, people who voted for Mr. Barrow, and then when Mr. Barrow made a decision or something, and then they start to cry. You understand? So people should ask themselves whether they thought before they voted, whether they used their brains God gave them before they voted, whether they used their voting cards and the use of it correctly, what God gave them or not. So, because the use of voting is very, 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 is a big responsibility. To vote you in Jaga, that means I vote you, and anything you do, I should cooperate. That is election and that is voting. So people should know the use of their voting cards and not cry after.
Our problem between the IJMA and Adama Barrow, we were among the people still voicing out for change. We were in Gambia at that time. But trust me, when you look around, you will see that some people were just starting for change, but change for what? They don't really understand exactly what they are changing. So that's the problem. So change. Let the IJMA go. Who is there? Adama Barrow. Most of them voted for Adama Barrow because of Marirando Bobu change. Molensi Yobale. Because of at that time, Adama Barrow moved in a coalition, so they went and vote for Adama Barrow. And trust me, 70% of them, when you ask them a reason why, they can't tell you one.
That's where we have to help the people. I said it here last time. As far as we don't know the use of our voting cards, we will always have that problem. So how can we do that? By informing the people, and the people who know something, try to inform their families, like that. So we can help other Gambians to know the use of their voting cards and what they can do with it, how they can even change Gambia to New York. You understand? And it's a duty, a responsibility for all of us. I know the politicians don't do it. The opposition don't do it. The only thing the opposition will do is vote for me. Use your voting card to vote for me. You understand? And nothing else. That's why many Gambians don't even know why they even have this thing in their hand. So to help them, we have to inform them, and people in the West here, in the diaspora, who knows the reason on all these advantages and disadvantages, should try and inform their families in a very good manner, so that they also understand what they are having in their hands and what they can do with it. You understand? Unless we go to that point, Gambia can move. If not, as I said here, just beating a dead horse.
Okay, thank you.
So thank you.
Thank you. Sam, your final words.
Well, my final word, and before I end that, going back to Alice's point, people knowing the value of their voter's card. That's why I said earlier, before Alice joined, is to really do a grassroots campaign by bringing public awareness in the villages, starting in the villages and towns. There are the VDCs in every village need to be able to educate their own people. Let them know the value of their voter registration cards, what they should be looking for, and not because you like somebody or because someone is so-and-so is a relative or so-and-so. No, vote for the right candidate. So that public awareness needs to be happening in every village. So that's one. But anyway, so moving forward, yes, it is. This is a very important topic that we talked about today. And I don't think we can always finish talking about this. There's a lot to say about our country, and there's a lot that needs to happen. It all needs to start with the new legislative body that we just have, the National Assembly members. They have a lot of work to do. I've released some audios, and I think this evening I'm going to release more audios also about what Gambians should expect from them moving forward in the next 5 years, because they have the key to the nation to restructure our country with good laws and remove the bad laws, and also reinstate certain laws or change certain laws. But they are the lawmakers at the end of the day. They need to make the proper laws that is going to help our country move forward. But in terms of leadership, in my mind, we still don't have the right leader. And any leader that comes into power, normally in any position, and especially a position of a president, you get into power in your first year, there are certain things you can do. But by second year, you really need to be acting real fast, especially Gambia. Gambia is a very poor country that's been behind years and years and years. We are way behind time, way behind all the other countries, a lot of countries. So including countries that we had independence with, in the same year, like Singapore and things like that. We are way behind them. And for us to move forward, we really need to have that right leader that has that mindset, that has the resistance that cannot be altered. No matter what happened, you've got to be a very strong person that can tell people no. Look at them in their face and say, no, that's not going to happen. Tell them, no, that's not going to happen because it's not good for the country. Don't allow anybody to advise you something that is good for you as a president. No, what should be good for the country? I mean, you need to build a good legacy in there, but most importantly, having a vision for our country to move our country forward and lay your own foundation stone that people can build on as a building block moving forward is more important. So thank you, but thank you all for your time. Really appreciate it. It's a great day. It's been a great day.
Thank you,
Great
sir.
conversation
Thank you.
with all of you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you so
So,
much.
Yeah,
The
it's
discussion
close.
was really helpful.
Yeah.
Okay,
Thank you,
then
Jala.
bye-bye to everybody.
Sam, thank
See
you.
you all later.
Yeah, thank
You
you.
all
Thank
have
you. Bye to everyone.
Sam,
happy
take
Ramadan
care.
to all of you.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, happy Ramadan.
hopefully we all be
Yeah.
celebrating.
To all of you too.
Happy-
Yeah, we'll see you next Sunday.
Thank you. Yeah.
Take care.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bye.
See you. Thank you. Thank you.